Hello po. Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Napalay po tayo ng mas maaga dahil po sa mga certain circumstance na hindi po natin makontrol and so far naasikaso na po natin 'yan and today po magandang episode po ito dahil ito pong pag-uusapan natin ay malapit po sa karamihan po ng mga Pilipino and nakikita niyo po sa t-shirt ko talagang sinuot ko 'to for this episode. Ayan, Philippines, ayan. Kasi nung pumunta ako ng Pilipinas nakabili po ako ng t-shirt for my souvenir. So, pag-usapan natin ngayon is the increasing online attacks ng China towards our Philippine officials at ating mga military personnel. And also, pag-uusapan din natin in-depth ano ba yung nangyari dun sa UNCLOS, yung napanalunan nating arbitral award. Ano ba yung mga possibly reason bakit ginagawa ito ng China towards our country and towards our Filipino people. Ngayon po nabigyan tayo ng pagkakataon sa mga po-political vlogging before at meron din po siyang kaalaman towards our pag-uusapan natin today. He is an education graduate, a major in social studies at marami siyang maibibigay po ng mga expertise about po dito sa pag-uusapan natin. So guys, without further ado, please welcome po si Kuya Nerve Vlogs. Hello, hello.
Hola, salutamo. I'm a Manuel Jacinto LTA or licensed professional teacher by profession. Oh, but I'm also a blogger and a musician. Now, ang privilege naming bahagi ng ating podcast hinggil sa napapanahong issue hinggil sa West Philippine Sea at sa ginagawa ngayon ng China.
Yes, and also before we start if you don't mind introducing to them who you are sa ating mga tagapakinig and also if you don't mind just a little bit of disclaimer dun sa pinag-usapan natin kanina so they would know what's going on.
Is not yet diagnosed by some psychiatrist, but there are observable signs of being an hyperactive.
Okay. Kaya lang po natin i-stress out yun, we're not pointing out any people that has the same disability. Pinoint out lang po natin yan para po for the rest of the podcast, naiintindihan nyo po kung saan po nanggagaling si guest natin at bakit po ganun siya magsalita. Kasi sigurado may magtatanong yan, Kuya Nerve. Usually may tinatanong silang ganyan at the middle of our podcast para just to let people know, just for education purposes. So,
Yeah.
ngayon punta na tayo dito sa pag-uusapan natin because I have my Philippines t-shirt. Let's start dito sa pinagsimulan nitong issue sa West Philippine Sea. Going back to Pinoy administration, upon my research, meron kasing nangyari sa Ayungin Shoal that this Chinese fishermen went into Ayungin Shoal and they were apprehended apparently by the um, Navy ships which is under Air Force, which is dapat daw hindi daw iyon ay ma-apprehend ng mga Navy ships, dapat daw ito ay ma-apprehend ng Philippine Coast Guard. Kasi nga 'di ba Philippine Coast Guard is a part of the civilian community. Mula daw noon nagkaroon na ng issue from China and Philippines. Do you think that because of this issue, na parang lumawak na lumawak at lumaki na lumaki yung issue natin sa West Philippine Sea with China, with Chinese government, do you think that this might be a good reason for the Chinese government to push their narrative about the nine dash line?
According to my some research, permanent or arbitration yung ini-claim ng China na Nine Dash Line. Because one of the factor kung bakit kinonsider na lawful ang Nine Dash Line is because yung ating bansang Pilipinas o yung mga representante kabilang dun sa general at ilang mga councils ay napresenta ng isang historical evidences wherein ito po yung pinakalumang mapa ang pangalan nun ay Moelio, if I'm not mistaken, wherein hindi po naka-picture dun yung sinasabing Nine Dash Line or ngayon ay Ten Dash Line na.
Mhm.
Yung is binasa sa press release ng UNCLOS or sa permanent or arbitration or mas kilala sa tawag na tribunal,
Boss, question, kailan yung press release?
yeah. So, Dito sa portion ng, historic na nine dash line, ang sabi dito is, "The tribunal concluded that there was no legal basis for China to claim historic right to resources within the sea areas falling within that nine dash line." So, ibig sabihin, yung sinasabi ng China na nine dash line which is pinagdidiinan din ng, isa sa mga pulitiko na ano na nga masasabi kung lapdog or atadog ay wala pong basehang legal. So, ibig sabihin ito ay
Mhm.
so
And what do you think about, I think I want to add more 'no, because of what you read diyan sa UNCLOS, does it nullifies yoong mga opinyon, sabihin nating pro-China
hmm,
government official towards this issue about the West Philippine Sea automatically?
100% yes. Since, sinabi dito sa press release ng, PCA or, permanent or appreciation ano, arbitration or in French, Cour Permanent d'Arbitrage. Na ni-release nung, July 12, 2016 na ang sinasabing nine dash line na pilit pinagdidiinan ng mga pro-China na mga influencers and even ng mga politicians ay, walang basehang legal. Therefore, nullifies automatically their claims.
So it's like invalid, in short.
Yeah, see, yeah,
Okay. And also if we're going to history,
hmm,
apparently to my research din, 7 ginamit ng Kumintang Party ng Taiwan itong Nine Dash Line, resort for their territory under the People's Republic of China. Pagdating ng 1950, ginamit ng ah, Communist Party ng China itong Nine Dash Line na 'to on 1950 kasi daw ang, South China Sea is covered almost 80 to 90%, which is a good benefit for them. Isa sa mga naging issue dito, and I think this was like an issue years ago, yung issue ng Scarborough Shoal. Kasi ito mainit na pinag-uusapan ngayon.
yeah,
Ang sabi dito sa Scarborough Shoal o yung Baho de Masinloc, ang sabi ng China, this is included on our nine dash line. Ang sabi ng Pilipinas, no, because Scarborough Shoal is within our 200 nautical mile territory from the Philippines. I think with this actuation, do you think that it ang Philippines to push this issue to the international tribunal instead of, sabi ni Senator Padilla na magkaroon din, "Boss, ingat ka lang kasi baka mamaya ma-cancel ka." Alam mo naman yung mga DDS.
no, I'm not afraid of them, eh. Matagal na nila akong kinansel, eh.
At saka remember, Senator Padilla is the number one senator nung eleksyon.
That's very ironic actually for me.
Mhm.
We must push our rights to the arbitrational tribunal.
Okay, and then, also, sabi mo meron
I think nabasa ko na yun sa 9/9. Yeah,
ang karapatan daw ng isang bansa ay nagsisimula sa kalupaan.
hmm,
Ng kalupaan, kung ano ang hagip nito, 200 nautical miles, yun ay ang tinatawag na exclusive economic zone.
yes,
With this actuation, kasi alam natin that Scarborough Shoal is part of the West Philippine Sea, and in
hmm.
a bigger perspective, the South China Sea. What is the main reason bakit pinupush ito ng China to sabihin na nating occupy itong West Philippine Sea?
Economically speaking based on my, observation na din na, there are claims na sila yung inaapos na ho sa kanilang resources, sa kanilang ano pong teritoryo. Pero the thing kasi meron pong may portion dito sa press release na merong ginawang illegal ang China, wherein ito ay violate sa convention or, yung batas na nakapaloob dun sa tribunal. And also, yung isa sa ginawang illegal ng China is yung, pagsira sa mga coral and also yung mga habitat ng mga, lamang dagat. like yung mga fishes and also
It's
yung
in
mga
short, maritime ecosystem.
yeah, yes, that's what I mean.
Okay. Okay. And then also another thing that people need to understand, the South China Sea or the West Philippine Sea is 30% of the global navigation ng buong mundo. Lahat ng trade, lahat ng barko, pati eroplano, most definitely dumadaan dito sa parte ng ating mundo. And sabi dito that the West Philippine Sea has the biggest, the richest marine ecosystem in the world. Kaya talagang sabihin na natin na matindi talaga yung pangangailangan ng China. And also, can you, well, I don't know if with geopolitics naman pag-usapan natin, what do you think is the reasons why or the strategies for the reason why they are trying to occupy the entire West Philippine Sea or South China Sea?
Not being subjective, ako din may, knowledge na din, it's because, many people na nasasabi na mula nung mapaalis yung US naval bases sa Subic, may mga, instances na nagsimula na ang China yung, kaya lang yung nung ako'y nag-o-observe at nanonood ng mga balita, nagsimula ang issue in the late, years of, your administration and also, panahon din ni Pinoy wherein dun nga nangyari yung at, and also mula lumala ang ginawa na aktibidad ng China noong panahon ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Wherein sa aking obserbasyon ay, kanya pong dalawang illegal na aktibidad ng China na wherein nakapinsala sa ating maritime ecosystem. Kasama diyan yung mga habitat ng mga, marine na fishes and also yung mga saltwater fishes. Ayan, nakaapekto sa, ah, hanapbuhay or yung sabihin na nating, source of income ng mga mangingisda natin. Dahil nga sa ginagawang illegal and also yung mga artificial islands na yan wherein, yung, naka-contribute sa destruction ng, ating marine ecosystem,
Okay.
yan.
And moving forward to another topic, isa yan sa part na I think pino-focus ngayon ng China to for
Hmm,
me to infiltrate our political system. Kasi
hmm,
they know that West Philippine Sea is not a big deal right now kasi meron tayong flood control issue. Nila, this would be under the radar at hindi natin pag-uusapan. And I think this is the right time na pag-usapan natin ito dahil ang laki nitong issue na 'to. Kasi we all know that this will be a starting ground. When they start an island in this West Philippine Sea, mangyayarit mangyayari yung ginawa nila before pang isla sa South China Sea na maaari
hmm,
nilang itong pagtayuan ng base militar.
yeah,
And napatunayan natin sa Firi Island, if I'm not mistaken yung name, na meron ng air and naval airstrip din doon,
hmm,
which is like I think 3 kilometers long. This is not, I would say this is not, hindi na, kumbaga hindi na to joke. Meron talaga silang plano for some reason. And I think going forward, bakit tingin mo at this moment in time, lumakas o tumitindi ang online attack ng mga pro-China sa ating gobyerno, sa ating elected official, miski ating, spokesperson, si Commodore J. Tariela.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, ay naku, ang mga pro-China na ini. May mga nababasa o articles at, yung ano ime-mention yung ano, baka inyong scrutinize. Merong mga articles and also nagsagawa ng hearing noon si former Senator Francis Tolentino na wherein napag-alaman niya na itong mga pro-China personalities like yung mga DDS, ime-mention ko na kayo, pasensyahan tayo, me-mention ko na kayo. Mga DDS o mga diehard supporters at yung mga trolls ay napundado ng Chinese Embassy. At also, itong mga vloggers and influencers na, umaatake din sa ating, mga government officials ay pundado ay ng China. Kaya itong ginawa ng, China na pag-atake sa mga ating, government officials, aminaw na ating ulan ni si Commodore Jake Ariela.
Yes,
Ayun na
and alam mo sa totoo lang, there's a lot of reports na even I think Navy nagsalita na that most of the DDS supporters are actually funded ng China. And another thing, ito dito natin pag-uusapan. I don't know if you know about this. There was
hmm,
one episode ng The Spoke sa Bilyonaryo that even Attorney Trixie Angeles said verbatim na sabi niya they were trained on social media sa China. And a
yeah,
lot of them are influencers and a lot of them are former government employees. At nasa Billionaire News Channel 'to, I forgot yung episode pero ikinwento niya doon. Kaya they were trained. Ang question lang diyan, are they trained to be pro-China?
possibly,
'Di ba?
yes, most probably.
That's like a bit yeah, but the problem is, nasa sarili kang bansa.
Hmm,
Bansa mo 'yan, Pilipinas, pero ang ipinagtatanggol mo or ang pinupush mo is naratibo ng ibang bansa.
ayun, yun
And it doesn't make any sense.
nga, yeah.
Pag-usapan natin 'no, yung mga statement ng mga pro-China dito
Hmm,
sa social
sige,
media.
sige.
Una sabi
Sige
nila,
po.
tayo daw ay anti-China dahil lang tayo ay nagpapagamit sa mo diyan.
Papagamit sa Amerika?
Mm.
Ang Amerika ay isang mega continent. Kumbaga sa Bicol region, sa Zamboanga, yan ay peninsula kumbaga. Kasi yan, kapit-kapit yan. Y Canada, Estados Unidos, Mexico, yun ang bahagi ng South America, like Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela, Argentina, et cetera, et cetera. Yan ang Amerika. Kumbaga ano siya, mega continent. Ngayon, ang tamang term, sa iyong kaalaman ay Estados Unidos.
Correct and, I yeah,
Sa sinabi nila na tayo ay, anti-China dahil napapagamit tayo sa
dahil
Amerika.
nagpapagamit tayo.
Yan naman ko sa inyo, nakakatawa kayo at, at, anti-China,
'Wag ka baka
eh,
ma-cancel out.
I don't care, eh. I'm not afraid of them.
Correct and another thing na binabato ng mga pro-China 'no, yung mga
Okey.
feeling entitled, mga superior being natin sa Pilipinas. Sabi nila tayo daw ang nagpo-provoke ng giyera o gulo sa West Philippine Sea.
Ay,
Hmm,
ngayon sinabi mo naman sa'kin, ayaw ko saluhin yung mga misa. Pininusok ko din, oh. Pininusok ko din siya.
ye ye
Sinabi ko, hmm, sige, sige.
hmm. Totoo lang, this is one thing na hindi ko rin maintindihan ano sa, I think ito sa mga sabihin na natin pro-China propagandista. Ito ako I deliberately say this na, Pinsi. I don't think they're an influencer. I think they are deliberately pro-China propagandist.
Yeah,
Talagang deliberately etong mga tao na 'to hindi na anong paninindigan nila pagdating sa West Philippine Sea. Kasi isa sa mga statement na sinabi nila na talagang pumantig ang tenga ko. Sabi nila dito, "Di naman tayo mananalo diyan. Hawak lang natin ay isang desisyon sa isang papel. Kaya mas maganda pang mag-negotiate." Tas sinabi din ito, isa din sa mga na-research ko when I was going back to Duterte administration. Nakakalungkot mang pong sabihin sa inyo lahat, isa sa mga statement ni Duterte before is that, "Papel lang naman 'to." Hindi naman 'to mag-a-abide sa ruling sa pagdating sa China. So, with this statement ano, I wanted to share din yung aking opinion about this. I really think that this is very unfair. Bakit porket mayaman sila, porket may kakayanan sila kung gegerahin wala tayong kakayanan, does it mean to say, tatahimik na lang tayo? And also, kung mga public officials na elected to serve for the Filipinos, why are we supporting public officials, elected public officials, to support Chinese narrative? I don't care kung ano man ang kakayanan o hindi natin kakayanan sa karagatan, pero it doesn't mean that you will support any narrative of another country, 'di ba? Kasi yung suporta mo hindi dapat nakabase sa kung sino yung mas maingay. Kasi usually may ano yan, eh, sabi nga nila they are more on, uh, serving at the pleasure of someone's money.
Hmm,
Yun ang isa din sa nakikita ko. Moving forward I want to know your reaction. Init na umiinit ang bakbakan sa social media ng
yeah.
kauupo lang na ambassador at kauupo lang na deputy spokesperson ng Chinese Embassy at naglalabas sila ng official statement from the Chinese Embassy dito sa Manila, dito sa ating mga government official. Sa dito inatake nila si Commodore, J. Tariela, Senator Dizon Ontiveros, even Laila de Lima, Ronald Llamas, inatake din nila. And another issue na ginawa nila na talagang sabi ko, talaga may superiority complex 'tong China, is when they called the ambassador of the Philippines sa Beijing to report to the capital. Pero tayo, anong ginawa natin? DFA issued 14-day free visa sa mga Chinese people and hindi natin pinatawag ang ambassador ng China sa Manila. What is your reaction for this whole conundrum?
No, this is very unfair. Ay, itong itong DFA, binigyan na kayo ng, free visa access tapos diyan yung gagawin niyo. Naku naman. Tsaka hindi naman namin pinatawad yung, ambassador niyo ng China diyan sa Manila. Eh, and also, okey, I agree na mukhang meron silang superiority complex. Ayusin na ng mga DDS. Ayusin na may mga superiority complex. Makakala mo kung
Mm. Do you think I think my question to you, specifically,
okey,
do you
okey.
think that tama yung ginawa ng DFA natin to not call the, ambassador of China sa Pilipinas even if China requested for our ambassador in Beijing?
Diyan ako medyo ano, ayun, nadismaya ng onti. Pero ngayon, this is a high time na ipatawag na yung Chinese ambassador sa Manila. High time na 'to kasi sumosobra na 'tong, China, nagmamalabis na talaga, yung nag-o-over the line na, o beyond the limit na yung ginagawa nila.
Yeah, and also another thing na gusto ko itanong sa'yo, talking about Commodore J. Tariela ng,
Okey,
Philippine, Coast Guard.
okey.
The embassy, the Chinese embassy sa Manila, they are saying na dapat hindi daw ginagawa yung ganong satire na ginawa ni Commodore Tariela kasi daw he is deliberately attacking the president of China. And knowing na alam naman natin, this is not even the first time that China make satire towards President Bongbong Marcos or
Yes,
any government official sa Pilipinas. Tingin mo ba may hypocrisy dito sa embassy ng China to say these words knowing na hindi naman ito first time? And also, remember, there is no freedom of expression sa China. They don't have any reason or any rights to say what a Filipino can do within our sovereign land. So what's your reaction about this? Mhm. Kumbaga meron din sila attire against us. It's like they're not in hands.
yes, 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 oo. At ito supported by their, own ally which is the DDS, something satirical, against sa PBBM and other, government official like, Commodore Jake Aiela. So,
Mm.
therefore, hindi po sila pasok sa, tinatawag na enhanced doctrine. So, they must, look at their face first and the mirror. They must see their face first in the mirror, I mean.
correct. And buti nga hindi pa natin ginamit si Winnie the Pooh. Eh, baka magyera na pagkatapos, 'di ba? Mamaya baka may missile na sa Bao de Masinloc ano, o sige, Winnie the Pooh.
'Di ba?
I think another thing din na connection with this, bakit ina-amplify ng karamihan ng mga influencer yung propaganda ng China? What is the main driver?
One of the main, reason kung bakit nila ina-amplify o mas common term ay ini-spread out or I will specify them, eh. I'm not afraid of them. Ang mga DDS influencer, shoutout sa inyo. Kayo ay pundado ng China, pundado kayo ng China. Naman o hindi, kayo ay pundado. Yun na ay, patunay, nasa sa inyo na yan. Ay nasa mga experiences at, may 'yan yung ginawang investigation ng Senado noon na pinangunahan nga ni Francis Tolentino, na ito nga mga influencers and also yung mga trolls ay, bayad ng China. Kaya nila ginagawa
Yeah,
itong
and
mga amplification. Hmm,
ito
yeah.
hindi ito, this was I think kitang study na there was a social science study or
Hmm,
social studies, I don't know how you call it, na talagang
hmm.
deliberately meron talagang pinupondohan ang Chinese government to put propaganda within the Philippine country. Another question that I want to know your reaction ano, kasi embassy or is considered as diplomat sa isang bansa. So when you become a diplomat, siyempre you are under the, I would say, under the confirmation of the sitting government kung nasaan ka for for you to be confirmed at ma-accept ka ng country na yon, mag-ho-host sa'yo for you to have an embassy and for you to be an ambassador for that country. Another thing na gusto ko sana malaman sa'yo with this scenario, tama ba ang ginagawa ng Chinese embassy with regards to them answering any political issue towards West Philippine Sea or towards China on social media kesa in a diplomatic way going to
Yung professional on X is very foul. I will consider as an very foul. Bakit ko nasabing foul? Kasi, ah, ang ginagawa ng, Chinese Embassy regarding sa issue diyan sa West Philippine Sea, it will, more amplify the names of the DDSOs and also the influencers and their, representative on the nations and, yung mga ano ng propaganda like, yang line-dash-line na yan, lalo na mapagdidiinan. So, kung meron silang mga concerns regarding dun sa MOU na yun, it should be done in a diplomatic manner.
And I think naman ano, in a diplomatic way, bisita ka. And ako naniniwala ako dun kay Senator Rizzo Ontiveros nung sinabi niya na
Hmm,
bisita kayo dito sa bansa namin. So kailangang umakto kayo the way you should be respected and on standard of behavior kasi diplomatic ka eh. Diplomat ka ng bansang nire-represent mo. Tingin mo sino ang kalimitang audience na pro-China propaganda. What do you think about doon sa recent resolution na inilabas ng Senado kung saan maraming mga minority dito sa resolution against China? What is your opinion or reaction about it?
umuol sa Cayetano, si Robby Padilla, si I will not call her as Marcos, no, I don't think so na, Amy Lacson na lang or Mangusin. Eh, 'yan sila si Odeo. Yang si Odeo halatado ko na 'yan matagal na, na talagang ano siya pro-China. Bakit? Do'n pa lang sa deliberation sa impeachment complaint, ang ginawa niya nga archive ng, impeachment complaint naman ay sa Duterte medyo lalabas lang ako konti ng topic at, isa sa naging nakita kong ebidensya ay nakipag-ugnayan siya kay Wang Xilian. Sino si Wang Xilian? Ito ay isa sa mga opisyales ng China na tila palaging mini-mention ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Ay, so, yun ang isa sa aking, visible evidences or malakas na ebidensya na
Alam mo, I think another issue na gusto ko ring malaman ano, kung meron akong chance, meron din kasi mga senador na hindi pumirma sa resolution.
maybe many of them on use or, man ay oo, majority nun talagang aliado na ng China at ng pamilyang aliado nito which is sa mga Duterte. Ni I will, hard-headedly name them. Kasi talagang, pro-China, pero yung iba dun I will give them the benefit of the doubt na tinatawag, na maybe sila'y, confused and, not yet, aware sa issue.
I see. And I think with this whole issue about increased attack on ng China, I think their main goal is to increase their attack para ma-weaken yung resolve natin, which is to fight off against this narrative, to be against China's propaganda. Kasi based sa ating ano, ang China, nagkakaroon po ng purging ng generals. Right now, nagkakaroon ng purging of generals and another thing, yung sa pinakamataas nila opisyal ng military is under investigation, which is apparently not pro Xi Jinping. So I think they're trying to weaken our resolve para makitang they are strong, but internationally, pakonti-konti, dun nila ipinupush yung narrative na the China is bigger, the China is richest, pero within their soil, meron silang malaking kinakaharap na issue. Do you believe on this saying na due to some investigation, especially Rappler, na pag-alaman nila na the DDS supporters or even the pro-China propaganda, ang main focus is para daw for preparation of VP Sara for the 2028 election. What do you think about this?
Or 2028 presidential election wherein yung kanilang representante na si Vice President Sara Duterte ay, posibleng tumakbo. So, ginagawa na nila ito para paghinain or i-discourage yung ginagawa ngayon ng ating kasalukuyang administrasyon sa panlaban, sa ating teritoryo. Kumbaga ang way of discouragement yung ginagawa nila, eh. Yung itong, mga propaganda, yung mga claims na itong China.
Yeah, it's like ano lang, 'no, posturing sa Ingles. Parang pinupunto lang nila mas malakas sila, pero technically
Scaffolding in other term. Kumbaga parang gumawa sila ng, foundations, kumbaga sa paggawa ng bahay. Yung mga ano ng kisame, yung pinakatadyang, yun yung ginagawa nila tsaka yung gusto may susunod niya yung mga haligi, 'yan. Kumbaga may structures na pagdi-disparage ba or destabilization.
correct. And also, tulad nga nung kanina babalikan ko lang ng konti, yung geopolitics na
Hmm,
pinag-uusapan natin. A
hmm,
lot of people don't know this and gusto ko na ring i-share. When I was doing this material, I also study a little bit ng geopolitics about this. Apparently, isa pala 'to sa mga strategy ng China. Bakit? Kasi ang strategy ng China, kung babaliktarin natin yung globo, kung may globe kayo,
okey.
titignan niyo yung mapa ng China from the northern side, makikita niyo doon that after you go down to South China Sea, bababa ka ng Strait of Malacca. Halos lahat 'yan from Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Philippines, Taiwan, South Korea, and even Japan are all included under the Western influence umbrella. Uh, uh, sa Asian continent side. And alam natin that China have a lot of problem with regards to resources. Kasi
Hmm,
mostly ang mga resources na andun sa mga bansa na yon. And I think, this is what I think. When I was studying this, one conclusion na parang nakita ko dito is that China do not want to be Japan nung World War II, if I'm not mistaken.
yes,
Kasi 'di
yes,
ba they were isolated with all of their raw materials, products. Hindi sila makapag-produce ng mga materials because they were
embargo,
isolated by the Western powers. Yes,
hmm,
and I think this is one of the reason why China to gain or increase their influence towards countries within the South China Sea na maapekto. And also another thing na gusto ko ring ipunto sa inyo 'no, China have this principle. They want to look centuries ahead, centuries forward kung ano mangyari sa country nila. And I think this is one of the reason why when they try to unify the country of Taiwan, to reunify it with China, they cannot even do it at the year 2027. Napatunayan nila that they cannot kasi mataas ang resolve ng Taiwanese people
hmm,
against China. So ang ginawa
hmm,
nila, they go over to the West Philippine Sea na apparently, sabi nga tayo yung low bearing fruit sa Asia. So they're trying to to invade us or occupy us through this South China Sea area. Um siguro ang gusto kong i-impart sa lahat ano kasi we're reaching our 1 hour mark. I would like to know, Kuya Nerve,
okey.
what is your advice sa tao, sabihin na natin yung mga tao na hindi naman inclined politically, hindi nanonood ng political blog or hindi sila inclined sa mga updates about sa politics. How can you or what is your advice for them about this issue, especially fake news and disinformation about West Philippine Sea?
Okey, gagawin ko yung aking perspektibo bilang, teacher by profession at bilang, social studies major. Ngayon dito sa napapanahong, issue, marami na yung kumakalat na mga disinformation and other term, fake news. Sa mga tao na mga hindi politically inclined, except, napapangalanan yung dalawang channel na may ining nga yun sa China. I will recommend, 'yan, Rappler, GMA News, News 5, and ano yung mga brand ng mga diaryo na
PCAS,
Inquirer, Philippine Star, Manila Bulletin, puwede yan.
hindi yeah, sabi ko pati channel natin.
Yeah, puwede, yeah. Yep, Elias, I will recommend that. Tsaka, kung kayo'y naman sa mga vlogger, 'yan, I will recommend Elias. And also, I will encourage you na din na mag-compare and contrast method. Yun palagi kong, sinasabi sa, mga collaboration sa aking sinasalihan. Compare and contrast. Yung perspective ng kabila, perspective nung isa, kayo na yung paghambingin and, i-contrast ninyo kung ano yung diperensiya nila at yung hibinalidad. At ngayon, sa inyo na yun kung ano yung paniniwalaan ninyo. Pero kung kayo ay patriotic, subjectively speaking,
Correct.
ito ay mataiba na ebidensya na napapatunay na atin ang West Philippine Sea. Yun lamang po, ma'am.
Yun, again, before we end this show, I just wanna, remind everybody before anything else, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe sa ating YouTube channel, Facebook, so Spotify at TikTok. Hanapin niyo lang po yung Philcast, dun niyo po kami mafa-follow. And also po, if you have any questions, even after this podcast, you can put your comments down below on this video, and then I'll try to send it to Kuya Nerd, and we'll try to answer those messages. I think my takeaway from this ito pinag-uusapan natin. This is a battle of, I would say, information, the good
Mhm,
and the bad information. And also what is the reason why bakit tayo may mga ganitong information towards the people in our country. Ako naniniwala ako dun sa pinag-usapan namin kanina ni Kuya Nerve that this attack was increasing to weaken our resolve. Niyon, yung push natin, yung will natin to fight off this
yeah.
pro-China propagandists sa social media. And I think this is the right time to talk about it. Pag-usapan natin kahit sa social media, sa mga vlog pag-usapan natin kasi hindi na ho po puwede na yung mga bayarang propagandista, laging namamayani sa social media at hindi na ilalantad sa publiko katotohanang tayo ay binubuli sa karagatan at ngayon binubuli tayo sa sarili nating capital city, Manila, using
Yeah,
the Embassy of China. And I'm not exaggerating this. Tignan niyo po sa social media paano nila banatan 'tong mga elected official, si Commodore J. Tariela, 'di ba? Another question that I want to also tell you guys, marami kasi nagtatanong, anong importansya nitong pinag-uusapan natin? Nasa dagat 'to, eh. So what's the point? Ang sagot po diyan, because this issue is a national security,
yes.
period. The moment that we let other countries occupy our islands sa karagatan, there is no way that we are trying to open up our country's vulnerability sa China. And what they gonna do? Pag ginawa nila yun, they can occupy us. Tulad nga na sinabi ni dating Pangulong Duterte, he wants the Philippines to be part of the province of China. Does it make sense? Does it connect? It does not be, probably it doesn't connect, diba? It doesn't make any sense. Pagka nanggaling sa isang Pangulo ng Pilipinas, at that time, means to say, it is the opinion of Filipino people kasi he represent the Filipinos and kailangan natin ito maisiwalat sa publiko dahil hindi po ako, ni minsan di ko naman naisip na in-check ako or hindi naman ako galing China. Pilipino pa rin ako kahit nandito ako sa States. Pero we need to talk about this. And I think, sabi nga ni Kuya Nerve, ano, dapat pag-usapan natin to every time. Hindi tayo titigil na pag-usapan to, 'di ba?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
ayun lang. I think this was a very good conversation, Kuya Nerve. Thank you sa magkaroon tayo ng part 2. At sana magkita-kita tayo at magkita-kita tayo again later. Meron po tayong back-to-back live podcast at in connection po dito sa pinag-uusapan natin, yung pag-uusapan natin later. Kasama po dyan si Ma'am Andrea D. So, kita-kits po tayo. At guys, don't forget, always, God first po sa inyo lahat. And Kuya Nerve, thank you po. Thank you po sa'yo.
Yeah, this
Thank you.